KRAVEN the Hunter is probably going to be in Marvel's Spider-Man 2 game. I mean, if you look at the trailer, you can clearly see a voice with accent, and also by the words that person is saying, it actually fits KRAVEN's personality, so he's very likely going to be in the game. And today I want to talk about how he could fit in Marvel's Spider-Man 2 story, because honestly, so far, we don't have enough info on how he could actually enter, what would be the reason for him to appear. Honestly, Venom is the other confirmed villain that I think is the only villain that we have confirmed for the game, and we knew he was coming. Obviously, by the end of the first game, you know, the post-credit scenes of the first game and the post-credit scenes from Miles Morales, it really showed us that Venom was gonna be here. So we know that Venom was coming, he's been introduced, but we got nothing for KRAVEN. He's just gonna appear in the game. And today I want to discuss with you how I think he's going to be here and why. Before we start though, I just want to remind you to leave me a thumbs up to support my work here, and also please subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this kind of content so that you can keep receiving more. The idea of these discussions is to create a space where we can talk about this game, and honestly I want to ask you to leave in the comments your ideas and your thoughts on KRAVEN here. How do you think he's gonna appear? Why? You know, you can leave your ideas here so that we can discuss together, please. Alright, let's go back to KRAVEN. We know that his life is all about hunting, he's addicted in that, that's what he does, and honestly, we can even see the words in the trailer. I'm going to repeat exactly what he said. He is basically looking for an equal, one who could push him, one who could surprise him, one who could even beat him. Yet all he's found is disappointment. Will any of you finally give me what I desire? That's what he says in the trailer. And basically, he's saying that what he desires is someone who could push him, surprise, and even beat him. Basically, that's what he lives for, you know? He has hunted every beast in the world. I mean, I've read the first comics, the first appearance of KRAVEN. I'm so privileged I can read the very first Spider-Man comics. And that's exactly what he is. He's the man who has hunted every possible beast in the planet. And he's always looking for a challenge because there's nothing who can challenge him anymore, since he has conquered every beast. And once he knows about Spider-Man, he comes all the way from Africa just to hunt him down. Because he looks at him and he knows that the most dangerous beast is the man. But in this case, it's a man with the powers of a spider, it's the powers of an animal. So it's like the ultimate challenge for KRAVEN, fighting a man who's got intelligence, but also with the powers of animals, which is what he hunts, right? So for him, it's like the ultimate hunt, is the perfect challenge for him, Spider-Man. But one thing doesn't really fit here for the game, which is the fact that Spider-Man has been around for 8 years already. And honestly, KRAVEN has never come before to hunt Spider-Man, even though he's been for so long in New York, being Spider-Man. And that seems kind of weird to me. Why would KRAVEN only come to New York now? I mean, you could say it's because of Miles, because Miles been around not for as long as Peter. But again, Miles probably been around for a year already, since we are gonna be moving on in Marvel Spider-Man 2. We also have Venom showing up right now, and suddenly out of nowhere KRAVEN comes to hunt. It feels like it could be because he's especially trying to hunt either Miles because he saw that there is a new Spider-Man with more abilities, or because there is this new beast, which is Venom, out in the city. However, it feels weird to me because he has never really hunted Spider-Man. And Spider-Man, even though Peter Parker Spider-Man has less abilities than Miles, and it's maybe not as a monster like Venom, he would certainly be a hell of a challenge for KRAVEN. Honestly, in terms of power, Spider-Man is faster, is stronger. He beats KRAVEN in pretty much everything in terms of physical abilities. But KRAVEN has never come to hunt him in 8 years. So I think there is a specific reason for KRAVEN to come only now in Marvel Spider-Man 2. And that actually fits with KRAVEN from what I've seen in the comics and from what we've seen in Spider-Man 2, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 game, where he only comes when he is invited or paid by someone to come to New York to hunt Spider-Man. Even though that's his goal, he wants to hunt Spider-Man out of pleasure, he only comes to New York when he gets invited. It's funny because, again, in the comics, the first appearance, he's invited by Chameleon because Chameleon needs somebody to take out Spider-Man, so he invites KRAVEN. In the Amazing Spider-Man 2 game, KRAVEN is paid to come all the way from Africa to New York by Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, because he has hired a Kraven to be his security or something like that. It's been a while since I beat that game. But he's usually hired by someone to come here. I don't know if he has like money issues or if he needs some special papers to come, or if he doesn't really have much access to information where he is, because honestly, as far as I know, he lives in a jungle because he keeps hunting beasts all the time. So I don't know if the information gets there, but it's kind of weird because Spider-Man has been around for 8 years and he hasn't come yet. I don't know if it's because of lack of information or it's because it's lack of resources, but usually Kraven doesn't go out of Africa to come hunt Spider-Man out of nowhere. He usually is invited to do so. And I think in Marvel Spider-Man 2, that's exactly what is going to happen. He's going to be invited to come now. And the reason why he's going to be invited to come is because somebody needs Kraven to hunt. And this somebody, in my opinion, is going to be Norman Osborn. I think Norman Osborn is going to hire Kraven's services, and it's going to pay him to hunt. Now, the question is, who is he paying him to hunt? Spider-Man? Could be either Peter or Miles, or Venom. Because what I think is going to happen with Venom in this game, and I've already talked a bit about this in a video where I talked about how Marvel Spider-Man could be the perfect trilogy. I already said what I think is going to happen and how I would like the series to continue. I'm going to leave a card up here. I recommend you check that one out so that you can understand everything I'm saying. But as I said in that video, I think they are gonna go with a similar idea to the Ultimate Spider-Man universe for the Venom symbiote, which is not an alien, but a biosuit created to heal diseases. That's the idea that the Ultimate Spider-Man universe had for the symbiote. However, they could never really finish the biosuit for some specific reasons I'm not going to be talking about here, but they never were able to finish the suit. So instead of just healing the body of the host, it actually turned him into a monster. I mean, yeah, he would get increased strength, speed, they would be able to heal, they would be able to resist bullets and attacks, physical attacks. It would be like a superhuman. However, they would turn into monsters because the symbiote actually needs to feed off of some specific substances like adrenaline and things like that. So Venom would always force the host to be aggressive so that the body would release those hormones for the symbiote to feed off of. And also sometimes it could even eat brains because brains also has some substances that would also feed the symbiote. But anyways, that's the idea that Ultimate Marvel Spider-Man has, and I think they are going for this exact same idea in Marvel Spider-Man 2. The symbiote is a biosuit created by Norman Osborn and Oscorp to heal diseases, in the case here, Harry Osborn. We know that Norman Osborn is searching for a cure for Harry for his entire life, pretty much. GR27, which is the Devil's Bread, it's been a work in progress since Martin Lee was a kid. I mean, he was testing the Devil's Bread on Martin Lee and suddenly created him Mr. Negative since he was a kid, and then he's like 40 in Marvel Spider-Man, so it's been like 20-30 years. Harry probably wasn't even born and he was already searching for a cure because Harry's mother had this rare disease, and now Harry has the same disease as his mother, so he's probably desperate to find a cure, and he couldn't find it with Devil's Bread, but apparently the biosuit is working and Harry is starting to stabilize. We can see at the end of Miles Morales, the post-credit scene, that Harry is already improving with the biosuit, and he asks the Dr. Connors, Kurt Connors, it's the doctor who's taking care of Harry there. He asks Connors to release his son because he's been locked there for too long and he's starting to get better. So what I think is going to happen is he's probably going to release Harry too soon without experimenting as long as Kurt Connors actually needed to. And it's going to heal Harry. Harry's not going to die as long as he is with the symbiote, the suit, the biosuit. And after they release Harry, the suit is going to require him again to be aggressive and it's going to turn Harry into a monster because it feeds off of those hormones that are released when you're aggressive, and then he's going to turn into Venom. Of course, his father, Norman Osborn, doesn't want Harry to be Venom. He wants him to have a life and not to become a monster, so he's going to need to find a way to improve the suit so that it just heals Harry and doesn't turn him into a monster. And that's where I think KRAVEN is going to come in, because in order for him to stabilize the suit, I can see two possibilities. He either needs to capture Harry again so that he can study the biosuit some more, so that he can, you know, stabilize it and allow Harry to have a life, or he needs Spider-Man's blood to stabilize Harry for some specific reason. I don't know, but maybe he needs that because Spider-Man is a successful experiment. And there is a specific scene on Marvel Spider-Man, the first game, which when I saw that scene, I was like, man, this guy has something schemed. His mind is so devious. He looks at Spider-Man. Once Spider-Man saves his life, after Doc Ock throws him out of a building, he looks at Spider-Man with a smile. And I mean, he doesn't say anything, but by that smile, I can sense that he looks at Spider-Man and thinks like, okay, this Spider-Man guy that just saved me, this is Oscorp. Oscorp created this guy. I know for sure. I don't know who he is, but we've been working with spiders to create cures and improve the human being, and here we have one. Here we have a man who has been improved and has the powers of a spider. So he is something that came out of my studies. So it's the proof I can make it work, and it's the proof I can actually find a cure for my son, because if that guy who just saved me has spider-like powers, I can give my son the powers to heal himself as well. Because honestly, Spider-Man, he can't, I'm not sure if he can heal himself of any disease. I know he gets like sometimes some diseases. He's not like immune to everything, but he has the ability to cure himself much better than a human being could. And the idea of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie is that the spider was able to heal out of the rare diseases. That's exactly what Harry Osborn wanted. He was going to die. It's the same idea of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movies, to stop to think about it. Norman Osborn had a rare disease, and then he was looking for a cure to cure himself and his son, because his son also got the same disease. And then Harry Osborn keeps searching for Spider-Man's blood during the movie, because Spider-Man's blood could actually cure him, because Spider-Man can pretty much heal from anything, because that's something a spider can do apparently. So when Norman looks at Spider-Man, it just gives me that feeling that he knows he can make it work for his son, either by making another spider, or making more spiders, just like he was working with the one that beat Miles, or by getting Spider-Man's blood. He has what he needs to give a life for his son again. It's not going to be easy, obviously, but he has what he needs. But again, he either needs to have Harry again to keep improving on the suit, or Spider-Man, because he needs Spider-Man's blood to help his son. But obviously, he cannot capture his son or Spider-Man, because again, they're much more powerful than Norman. Yet, I don't know if he's going to turn into the Goblin in this game. I think he's not. But the idea is that he's going to hire someone to do the job. And who better than KRAVEN the Hunter? I mean, that's literally his name, the Hunter. There's a reason why they call him the Hunter. He's the best in the world. So I think he's going to hire KRAVEN to hunt. And here, it could be either Peter or Miles, because both have this spider-like powers. So both would be able to heal Harry and cure his disease. Or Venom, because he needs to get his son back. I think Venom is going to be Harry Osborn with the biosuit. So he needs KRAVEN to hunt either one of them. It's probably Venom because he needs Harry, but also Peter and Miles because of their blood. So at the end, I think that's how KRAVEN is going to feed. He really wants... Obviously, he's going to accept the challenge, because he's looking for, again, someone who could push him, surprise him, and even beat him. And again, Peter Parker, Miles, and Venom, all of them could be this person, right? So I think he could be hired to hunt all of them down, or just specifically one of them. But that's how he's gonna fit. He's gonna accept the invitation from Norman, because obviously he wants to. It's his life to hunt a dangerous prey. And also, Norman's probably gonna finance him, so he's gonna pay the tickets, whatever he needs to get out of Africa to come to New York. Norman Osborn is gonna pay. This way it makes sense for KRAVEN to only come to New York now, since Spider-Man's been around 8 years. If it was only KRAVEN's interest to hunt somebody who could push him and all of that, he would have come before. But he's probably either out of information, didn't know Spider-Man existed until someone hired him and said, hey, can you hunt this Spider-Man? He's like, what? Spider-Man? What is Spider-Man? Then he shows him Spider-Man. Or if he got the information, he didn't have the means to come to New York for any reasons, you know, not only money, could be other things too. But obviously somebody like Norman Osborn could give KRAVEN anything he needed to come to New York, to the United States, to hunt them down. I mean, with a man as with as much power as Norman Osborn has, he certainly could do that. And I think that's what's gonna happen. That's how Kraven is gonna fit. That's the reason why he's only coming now, because now he's got an invitation, and now he's got somebody who is actually gonna be able to pay and make him able to come to America. He's gonna allow Kraven to come here, and that's why he only comes now. And also because it's only now that Norman needs somebody to hunt Spider-Man, to hunt Venom, because his son is close to a cure, and he couldn't really make the biosuit work as he thought. I mean, he wanted to release Harry because he thought it was already time, but then he sees that it's not time already because the suit's not ready, so he needs somebody now because his suit didn't exactly went the way he wanted to. But again, that's how Kraven is gonna be. This is what I think is gonna happen. I think that's exactly how he's gonna fit. And again, I don't know how the fights are gonna go, if it's gonna be like both Spider-Man against Venom and Kraven at the same time, or if it's gonna be like Kraven letting both Spider-Man fight Venom, and once all of them are weakened, Kraven is gonna show up and capture everybody. I don't know how it's gonna be the idea for the game, but I'm really looking forward to it. I'm so hyped for this game. I really want to see more trailers, more gameplay. They only released one big trailer so far, and I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, now it's your turn. Tell me in the comments, what do you think about Kraven? Why is he only coming now? What is going to be his role in Marvel Spider-Man 2? Tell me in the comments, and I'm going to be trying to answer all your comments so that we can create these awesome discussions together. I'm also going to leave a card up here for you to check out the other videos I made for Marvel Spider-Man 2. How I think combat and stealth should be, other discussions just like the one I did for this video. You can go and check those one out, and also leave in the comments of those videos what do you think, if you agree with what I say in the video, and your ideas on the matter. I also want to remind you to leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, to receive more content like this. If you enjoy superhero games, if you enjoy Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man, I make content about it, and also the thumbs up to support my work. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.